Close your eyes. Picture your family, or any family. You've lost your home, you've lost your job, you're living out of your car. Everything you have is in your car. You have no money to purchase groceries. You have not eaten in a couple days. The last meal you had was a can of dog food. Yes, a can of dog food. Um, Believe it or not, this situation plagues thousands of individuals in the United States. According to a report issued by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, 564,708 individuals found themselves homeless in January of 2015. Now, picture a family again, clothed, housed, well fed, warm, feeling good about themselves again. What can you do to make that happen? Today, I am here to urge you to help the homeless in any way that you can and strive to end homelessness in your community and in the United States. A few years ago, actually October of 2012, our church became an active participant in a county program called Family Promise of Greene County. Our church, as well as 13 or 14 other churches within the county boundaries, made a commitment to feed and house homeless families for 1 week at a time in a rotational pattern. As a co-coordinator of our church's organization, I have had the opportunity to meet many families going through this in this crisis situation, and have come to better understand circumstances that lead to the crisis situation. In fact, our very first family found themselves in the very situation that I had you imagine in the opening of this presentation. Homelessness is a problem in our society, and contrary to popular belief, it is not a choice. It is thrust upon individuals and families with or without warning, and could happen to any one of us in this room today. Today I will explain to you the circumstances that lead to homelessness, the face of homeless population and where they live, and what you can do to help the homeless and hopefully eliminate homelessness in the United States. Homelessness is a situation, as I said, that is thrust upon individuals and families due to a number of factors such as unemployment, low wages, domestic violence, choosing to remove themselves from situations, physical or psychological impairments, and many other situations. The current unemployment and minimum wage rates have not changed since 2009. They remain at $7.25. According to the report submitted by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate remains at 5% for the month of November, involving 7.9 million people in the United States. The report further states that 4.7% of those individuals are adult male, 4.6% are adult female, 15.7% are teenagers. Keep in mind that the statistics are only as accurate as those who are currently requesting unemployment benefits. As I said, the federal minimum wage as well as the Wisconsin minimum wage remains at $7.25. The minimum wage in most Wisconsin counties do not even cover the living wage required for one individual person. So imagine a family living with 4 boys and needing, having to make all their payments on $7.25 an hour. Maybe sometimes two people making that wage, but that still remains very low for a family of six. Another would be domestic violence. People making choices to live safely or to homeless, or to remain in an abusive situation. According to the National Coalition for Homelessness, 63% of women in homeless shelters have experienced domestic violence. Physical and psychological impairments can also affect on homelessness. Individuals with physical and psychological impairments find it difficult to find jobs or maintain jobs once they have found them. Excuse me. Unemployment is high, wages are low, and the abused deserve to feel safe. Individuals with physical and psychological impairments have difficulty finding and maintaining steady employment, which leads to homelessness. It's a situation that arises out of a combination of colliding situations, issues that can affect any member of our society. There remains a misconception about what the face of homelessness is. It seems that people believe that all homeless are alcoholics and drug abusers, which is not the case. According to Housing and Urban Development Annual Homeless Assessment Report to Congress for 2015, 564,708 people were homeless in the U.S. in January of 2015, as I stated earlier. Of those, 358,000 were individuals. 23% were children under the age of 18, and 9% were between the ages of 18 and 24. I have a map here, and it's difficult for you to see, I understand, but this breaks it down by state as the locations of those homeless, total homelessness, or homeless people. This is a breakdown by state of homeless individuals. And then I also have a map of the homeless families, breaking it down by state. And those can be located at the webpage for HUD's report to Congress. According to that same report, 358,000 individuals were homeless. 57% of those individuals were living in emergency shelters, transitional housing, and safe havens. 43% stayed in unsheltered locations. They live in cars, under bridges, in the streets, in boxes, just unprotected areas. Excuse me. 206,000 people were in families with children. 9 out of 10 of those individuals in families stayed in shelters. 20,000 people in families were in unsheltered locations. Homelessness is an epidemic that knows no social bounds, and it can affect individuals and families, but there are ways that we can help. In order to make a change, we must be willing to volunteer and make some contributions to the cause. Volunteering your time or skills is one of the best ways to help and educate yourself on homelessness. You'll be surprised at the connections you can make with people, and quite honestly, you could be that one person that they need to connect with. You may be able to find them some work. You may be able to, somebody who has a small apartment that's available to them, and get them out of the situation that they're in. Other ways would be to follow in the footsteps of a gentleman named Elvis Summers of Los Angeles and a young lady, 11 years old, Haley Fort of Bremerton, Washington. They built what we've heard is on the news, tiny homes, tiny houses in their communities for the homeless. They also created a GoFundMe pages and raised thousands of dollars so that they could build multiple tiny houses in their communities. Other professional skills that you could offer to shelters, um, different organizations who are helping the homeless would be plumbing, carpentry, tutoring, mentoring, things like that. Other ways would be financially. A lot of these nonprofit organizations are limited in their funds, or their funds have been cut. Financial donations make a huge difference in what can be um, done to help people. Uh, it was announced Walt Disney World announced, the president of Walt Disney World announced that they were donating or giving a grant of $500,000 to the Homeless Impact Fund established in Central Florida, Commission on Homeless. Go through and donate your books. Go through your closets, find things you're not using anymore. In short, there are many, many ways that you can help, and I encourage you to do so. As I come to the conclusion of my presentation, there is one more thing I want you to consider, and that's the next time you come in contact with homeless, don't turn away. Just look at them, give them a smile or nod, and reassure them that it's a feeling to them that they are still part of humanity and, aren't being shoved aside. It makes a huge difference in their life. Think about the opening exercise of my presentation. While it may not seem like it could happen, and I certainly hope it does not, but homelessness could happen to any one of us. I encourage each of you to go out and make a difference in your communities. It's such an easy thing to do, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It can take a lot of time. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, and quite frankly, it shouldn't matter how much time it takes. I'll leave you with a quote from Jan Schakowsky. There is a lot of things that happen around the world we cannot control. We cannot stop earthquakes. We cannot prevent droughts. And we cannot prevent all conflict. But when we know where there are hungry, the homeless, and the sick exist, then we can help. Thank you.